1,
2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster.
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honeybee.
Fun time, go!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I am one of your hosts, Precious D.
And I am one of your hosts, Honeybee.
How you doing today, Honeybee?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today, Precious D?
I am tragically disappointed today.
No! Why? Tell us. Tell us everything.
Are you familiar with Funko Pop figures?
Yes.
I don't have a large collection. I have a few of things that I care about. I know there's some people, they just get everything. I'm sure somewhere there is a person or more than one persons who have every single thing they've ever put out. Back in January, I pre-ordered a Superman Action Comics Pop comic cover figure that was supposed to ship in May.
Wow.
It comes in a display case with a reproduction of the cover of Action Comics #1 at the back. And the little figure is wearing that particular costume, because Superman's costume has varied slightly over the years. So he's wearing that costume. Pre-ordered it in January to be shipped in May. And when I say January and May, I mean January and May of 2021.
Oh, ouch.
And every now and then, I don't want to say who I ordered it from, every now and then I would get a email acknowledging my outstanding order, just to let me know that they are aware that the order is still outstanding. Not asking me to do anything about it. Just telling
Just like,
me.
hey, we haven't forgotten about you.
Yeah.
We know. We're trying.
I don't know if this was some, COVID supply chain thing, but I get an email last week saying that it has shipped.
Oh.
It came in today, and it's broken.
No.
Yep.
What do you mean broken?
The display case that it comes in, that I believe it's not meant to be removed from. It's not supposed to come out of this plastic box that you display it in, that has the comic book in the back. The side of it is not just cracked, but like a piece of it broken out. There's a big dent in the side of the shipping box, a cut inside of the interior box, and then you can see through that box that the actual plastic display case is freaking broken.
Oh,
so
man.
I waited well over a year for this damn thing, and it's broken. Now, there's a thing right in the box about their return policy. So I'm going to return it, hopefully to get replaced. Hopefully it's not sold out.
Tune in next year.
Yes.
To see if Precious D gets his, what is it again? It was a long list of
a Superman
adjectives.
Action Comics Pop comic cover figure.
That.
It appears they're putting out a whole series of these figures with the cover of their first issue that they appeared in, dressed in that outfit from that cover. There's a Batman one and a Moon Knight one. I just saw a whole bunch of them listed when I was looking this up recently. Yeah, before it got here, I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and he was like, oh, I just ordered mine off Amazon. Be here in a couple days. I'm like, you bastard. And I'm going to have words. So I will not out the name of the company until I see...
Strongly worded words.
Yes, strongly worded email. I won't out the name of the company until I see how they deal with it.
Plus, I mean... I don't think you should out the name of the company because none of us want to shop somewhere where it's going to take a year for us to get the product. So,
yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody else got it sooner. I'm not certain.
Except for your buddy who got it on Amazon.
Well, but he ordered it after mine had already shipped.
Mm.
So I'm saying all the Amazon may have just gotten their shipment.
I see.
It may have been delayed worldwide. I'm not sure. Because of all the pandemic and supply chain stuff, something that was, it may not just be this company being so slow. It may not have shipped to anybody, anywhere, until just recently. Anyway.
Damn.
That's
damn.
Yep. First world problems. But today, we're talking about My useless piece of crap is broken. Today we're discussing the movie Ebirah, Horror of the Deep, also known as Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, also known as Gojira, Ebirah, Mosura, Nankai no Daikettō, which means Godzilla, Ebirah, Mothra, Big Duel in the South Sea.
So sorry.
I don't think we have discussed the Ra ending before. Apparently, yeah, the suffix "ra" in
Oh, gotcha.
Japanese. They use, because a lot of these monsters' names end in Ra. Gojira, Ebirah,
Mosura.
what's his name? Three-headed guy.
Oh, Ghidorah.
Ghidorah, yeah. So
And then we also had Litora.
Litora. They use that the same way that we have come to use Zilla or Illa.
Illa.
Godzilla, Bridezilla.
Mm-hmm.
And I bring it up because Ibi comes from the Japanese word for shrimp. The name of this monster is basically Shrimpzilla. Godzilla versus Shrimpzilla would be an approximation of the translation.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, we got a giant sort of lobstery, crabby, crawfishy, shrimpy kind of crustacean monster in this movie. A sea monster, if you will.
The claw.
It's from 1966. It is in color, 87 minutes. The director is Jun Fukada, not Ishiro Honda.
Yeah, but we are back in Toho, which
Yes.
love you, Gams, but I just kind of prefer this over the other place. Sorry, I just do.
Yeah. Oh, and the music is by Masaru Sato, so it is not by Ifukube either. So I think at this point, Honda was no longer under contract and was just being hired on a movie-by-movie basis.
Well, I will say the music in this is really good. It's really weird, but it's good. And the opening music reminded me of like a Japanese carnival or maybe like a Japanese circus. I don't know. I don't know if that's like real stuff, but that's what it was like, the vibes I was getting. I liked it.
Good. I'm glad. I don't know what the budget is, but the box office was 330 million yen.
Ooh.
Ebirah is 50 meters or 164 feet, and Godzilla is about that size. And we have a death count of 186.
Oh.
That is
is more than I
including
thought.
various escaped slaves and bad guys, a whole bunch of bad guys,
All the bad guys.
and Ebirah. And Okonaduro, Godzilla burned him and knocked him into the sea. I don't remember that.
I was like, who the fuck is this guy? That I thought it was. I was like, is this Litora? Because it was like just this random ass bird thing that we.
That's who that is. Yeah, there's some buzzard, some random rock. I think ROC. It's a mythical bird. I don't know if it originates from Sinbad, but it's kind of thing you'd see in a Sinbad movie. It reminded me very much of a rock, but apparently it is Okondoro. Oh, maybe that's derived from condor. Maybe it's meant to be a giant condor.
Oh. Anyway,
I didn't give it a racism factor, but there was some brown face going on in this one, wasn't there?
there was some brown face, and all of the brown face that was going on were slaves.
Well, it wasn't
Wah, wah.
presented as if that were a good thing to enslave.
Well, no, but you don't have to present it as a good thing for it to be shitty or not shitty.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter how it's presented.
I'm saying there are movies that present it as
Yeah.
if it were a good thing. Those movies get a 10 on the racist scale.
Yeah.
I think, though, our lead actress actually was darkened up. She was not
She was, yeah, she was
lighter skinned than everybody else. So, yeah, this one's a little weird. Any initial thoughts you have on this? Or shall I jump straight in?
Let's just get right into it because okay, so when I looked this movie up, I was about to watch it and I go on to HBO Max and I find it and I'm like, I see the crab, right? And I'm like, cool, a giant crab, that's hilarious. But I didn't realize all of our friends were going to be in it. I didn't realize that we were having a whole reunion. So, let's just get right into it.
Okay. After Yota is lost at sea, his brother Ryota steals a yacht. Wow, they just skipped over a whole bunch here.
Yeah.
We start off with a woman consulting a fortune teller of some kind. Yeah, a psychic, they call it.
Which we know that you don't believe in psychics.
No.
But some of us do, okay?
But in the world of this movie, that stuff works.
And
in all of the fairies, Mothra's fairies have psychic powers. So this woman's son Yota is lost at sea, and she's consulting the psychic, and the psychic tells her that he's alive. And so his brother Ryota is going to try to go find him.
Yeah.
Where does he go first?
Marathon.
Yeah, he goes to the newspaper.
First he goes to the officers, to the police, and he's like, my brother, and the officers are like, get fucked. And so then he goes to reporters, and then the reporters are like, get fucked. So then he goes to a dance marathon.
He sees a poster, and it's not exactly clear to us immediately what this is about, but he sees a poster at the newspaper and runs off to this dance contest. And when we say dance contest, what we mean is a dance marathon.
It's amazing.
It's an endurance contest. They used to have these. I don't know if anyone does them anymore.
I was going to ask, is this a real life thing? Because
yes.
I love this idea.
Yeah, so we're not judging the quality of the dancing. It's just an endurance contest.
Just how long can you dance?
They used to do these in the 50s, and I think they did them going back further, 20s and 30s. And I guess still into the 60s, in Japan at least, they were doing them.
Mm-hmm. What year is this movie?
66.
66.
Now, usually I think you need to enter as partners, but that did not appear to be the case in this contest. And I don't see why...
It was men and women, there were both. Though.
Yes, but it didn't look like they were paired up together. Mm-hmm. He seems to think that he can enter by himself, and that he can enter after the contest has already been going on for hours and hours.
3 days. 3 days.
Yeah, you can't just come in 3 days in and join. That's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not how this works. But the reason he's gone is because the prize for winning the contest is a boat.
Yeah, a yacht. Ooh, fancy.
Which he thinks he can then use to rescue his brother or go search for his brother. But I don't think he's even allowed to enter the contest, right?
No, he's not. The people so there's these two guys who are they finally kind of fall out, and they go up, they see him or whatever. And he's like, can I still win? And they're like, nah, it's too late. You can't. Yeah. It's already, it happened already.
It's been 3 days, you dumbass. I can't just join the marathon in the last quarter mile and run ahead of everybody and say I won. It's too late. Yeah. But when they find out he's obsessed with a boat, they're like, oh, we can show you where a boat is. You want to see a yacht? Well, we know where there's a yacht.
Come with us, stranger.
Yeah. So he goes off with these two strangers who surely are not going to murder him and take all his money. And they go to the marina where all the yachts are docked and climb on one. These two guys give him the impression that it's their boat.
Yeah.
But it's not. They just wander on.
Yeah, they just walk onto a random ass yacht ooh, this one looks nice.
Yeah, not realizing that there's somebody there. Yes. The summary says he steals a yacht with his two friends and a bank robber. Because it does so the guy hiding out on the boat is apparently a bank robber. He wakes up and he's like, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh, sorry, we just want to look around. He's like, well, just stop making so much noise, lay down and go to sleep. he goes back.
Yeah,
to sleep.
this was so weird. Okay, because right away when the guy, so they're saying the guy says something like, wow, I wish I knew whose yacht this was. And then this bank robber fellow's like, I'll show you, click clack with his rifle. And then they go into this where he's like, just keep it down, la la la. And I'm thinking like, what the fuck? These people just like are breaking and entering onto this yacht, and the guy who owns it is just like, yeah, you can sleep here. I was so confused because you don't know right away that he's not the owner of the boat.
Yes,
You
turns
don't
out
realize
he is also stealing the yacht.
Yeah,
he's
he
laying
was
low.
stealing it first. Yeah.
Or he's at least hiding out on it. I don't know if he actually intends to steal it or just to lay low because he just robbed a bank. But when they wake up, they're at sea. Because Ryota's gonna find his brother. Damn it! So
yeah, he's like, "Oh, this is a gift from God. I'm just gonna take everyone down with me."
yeah. So they wake up and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck, dude?" And they run afoul of Ebirah, or Ebirah, a giant lobster-like creature, and wash ashore on Lecce Island.
Mm-hmm.
So the monster comes out and attacks the boat, and does he wreck it?
It's very like it's a claw, like it's just a claw that comes out, and it's very like if you're doing a hand puppet on the wall without the ears, just like a big claw, crab claw, nom 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 nom. And it's good because it's only in like the first, 20 minutes that we see this claw. So we get some good action really fast in this movie, which is good.
Yeah. I did not write down the exact time. I didn't take very good notes.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I got it. 15 minutes. We see the claw. Yeah, 15 minutes, and then they get washed upon this island, and they're like, "Yay, we're saved! Oh, thank goodness, an island!" And this is why I think the guy was stealing the yacht, because all of the money and everything that he stole from the bank and all of that stuff kind of got washed away. And there's a radio clip that comes on that the guys are listening to before the boat crashes, and it's like, "We're looking for a bank robber. There was an American guy who had a boat, and he had just stocked it and was about to sail across the 7 seas, and now it's gone." And they're like, "Hey, are you the bank robber?" And he's like, "Shut your fucking mouth. No, don't call me that. I'm not a bank robber. Keep your head straight." And then when they all sink and all of his money and all that shit gets washed away, it's like they're like, what did you have in these cases? And he's like, "Well, nothing I can have here," because they're on a fucking deserted island.
Right. Not going to do me any good.
Yeah. So,
oh, man.
This movie is nuts.
He's not too
it's
bad.
nutty.
So they wash up on this island, and they quickly spot some boat coming up that's spraying yellow liquid into the water. We find out later that this is an Ebirah repellent.
Mm-hmm.
Our summary that I got from Wikipedia, by the way, thank you, Wikipedia, says they're the Red Bamboo, a terrorist organization, manufactures heavy water for selling weapons of mass destruction and a yellow liquid that keeps Ebirah at bay, presumably controlling him. I never quite got that they were manufacturing heavy water.
Me either.
Did you get? But they were making the slaves make the yellow liquid, and I did not. They call them a terrorist organization, but it was really unclear what exactly they were doing and what their plan was. But they did seem
it just kind of seemed like bad guys, but with like no really reason.
We're enslaving these people to make this yellow liquid to keep Ebirah away, so we can hang out on this island and he'll keep everybody else away from it. But because why?
Yeah.
What is it we're doing? But they have, snappy uniforms and everything. What's his name? Akihiko Hirata.
Commander Eye Patch.
I was going to say Akihiko Hirata has an eye patch again. like he did back in the original Godzilla.
We love to see it.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I did not read out any of our cast. Akira Takarada is Yoshimura. Toro Watanabe is Ryota Kane. Toru Ibuki is Yata Kane. Chotaro Togen is Ichino. Hideo Sunazuka is Nita. Is that the girl? No, I think it's one. I don't know. Kumi Mizuno is Daio. Pear
Aw.
Bambi. Pear Bambi are the Shobijin, Mothra's fairies. It is not the Peanuts this time.
I know. You could tell.
And it's not going to be the Peanuts again. They're done. I think we'll see Pear Bambi a
Aw.
few times.
Well, I did enjoy them.
Jun Tazaki is a Red Bamboo commander. Akihiko Harata is Red Bamboo Captain Ryui. Hideo Amamoto is Red Bamboo Captain Naval Officer. And then there's a few other people in bit parts. Haru Nakajima is Godzilla. And Hiroshi Sakita is Ebirah. And every time they said Red Bamboo, I wanted to go, the red bamboo, the red bamboo. You better never bother with the red bamboo.
Hilarious.
So there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Dio is the native girl, yes. In their efforts to avoid capture, Ryota and his friends, aided by Dio, a native girl, come across Godzilla. So the girl, they're bringing the boat that's pulling up is bringing a bunch of fresh slaves.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl's with them, but she makes a break for it at one point and actually
Yeah.
manages to get away.
And at this point, I did not realize, I had no idea that there was like gonna be Mothra in this movie. And for those of you that maybe don't know or are new or what have you, first of all, welcome. But second of all, that is my main bitch. Mothra is where it is at. As soon as I see her, I'm looking at her outfit and I'm thinking like, what is she wearing? Like, why is she wearing this? But I did not know yet that she was a part of the natives, which I should have. As soon as I saw her outfit, I should have known. But yeah, I love. It's weird what she's wearing, like this like bralette and pencil skirt. It's very like weird that because it's hard to move around in and stuff. But I loved it. I loved it so much, and I was so excited when she said where she was from, the island. What is the island called? Infant Island?
Infant Island.
Yeah, when she said she was from Infant Island, I was like, oh, holy shit. It's happening. Mothra's in this movie. Yeah, but I was really confused about her outfit until I realized
she was. Yeah, I think it was meant to be sort of South Sea Island sarong thing, but yeah, the skirt was maybe a little too tight to be practical.
Yeah. I was like, dang, this poor woman having to run in this fucking pencil skirt and this bralette. Like, Jesus.
It's got a little slit up the side, I think. I'm trying to look at pictures of it now.
Well, you wear a pencil skirt, even with a slit up the side.
And one of the guys, when they first get there, one of the guys finds a sword, a very shiny
machete.
He finds a very shiny sword that he carries around through most of the movie, and it ends up being helpful later. I want to point out here that the original idea for this movie was to be a King Kong movie.
Oh.
And Rankin and Bass was somehow going to be involved, and they didn't want to do it. We're going to get to them soon because they're involved in the King Kong show and King Kong Escapes. They do some teaming up with Toho, but they just retooled it as a Godzilla movie instead of a King Kong movie.
Weird. Well, I gotta say, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, but I think that might have something to do with why it's taking place all on an island, because King Kong hangs out on islands, and the electricity that comes in later may originally have to do with how King Kong reacted to electricity in King Kong versus Godzilla. So I think that's all just remnants of it being originally a different movie.
That happens a lot, it seems like.
Yeah, that happened. The Frankenstein movie was a King Kong thing that got retooled multiple times passed through several different hands. No, it wasn't the Frankenstein movie. It was King Kong. King Kong versus Godzilla was supposed to be King Kong versus Frankenstein, and then it got passed through various hands till it became King Kong versus Godzilla. But then we had this other Frankenstein. It's also weird. Anyway, they come across Godzilla, who previously fought Ghidorah and is now sleeping within a cliffside cavern. The group devises a plan to defeat the red bamboo and escape the island. In the process, they awaken Godzilla using a makeshift lightning rod, and that's where the sword comes in. They use the... Basically, they get...
Yeah.
Oh, there's also skipping some stuff, though. They break in to the headquarters trying to... I can't remember what they were trying to do exactly, but they break into the bad guy's place and poke around trying to escape. Does one of them get captured and the other's rescued?
So he doesn't actually get captured, but he gets like stuck on this weird balloon? Question mark.
Oh, yes.
I don't know what this thing is. I'm confused about this thing. I don't understand. What is it?
I think the bad guys had some kind of observation balloons. I don't know if they were weather balloons or spy balloons. Yeah, but they break in there for some reason, though. And while they're in there, Dio sees a coil of wire that she thinks is pretty and just puts it around her neck as a necklace.
Well, that's why they're in there. They're there to get the wire because they decide that in order to wake up Godzilla, they need to use lightning. And they have to conduct this lightning.
Right, but I don't think they went in there for that purpose. It's been a few weeks since I watched this movie. Because they come up with the lightning idea later and they say, "Oh, I'm going to have to borrow your necklace." But she just seems to grab the necklace on their way out. Just because she saw it.
Oh, yeah, because they're like, "Hey, we're not shopping." Yeah, I remember that now.
Right, but they escape, but one of them gets caught up in the balloon, and it takes him to Infant Island, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Let me see what this
it takes
summary
him
says.
to Infant Island, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm Dio's friend," and they're like, "Well, what happened?" And he's like, "She's fine. She's with all of my friends." And then they're like, "Ebira won't go near this yellow liquid," and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I'm like, it took a long time for us to get to this point too. Like, there seems to be a lot of things that weren't really necessary. But then we get to like waking up right here where we get to Infant Island where this guy gets dropped off by this balloon. This is our first time seeing Mothra.
Yeah.
I love the new Mothra song in this movie.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Song.
Did you like it?
I still like the original one best.
No, I like this one because like all of the people, like every single person is singing this one instead of just the Twinkies. What are they called? Not the Twinkies. What are they? The fairies. The fairies. That's what.
The Shobijin.
The Shobijin. Yeah.
So let's see. What does this say? It says Godzilla fights Ebirah, but the huge crustacean escapes. Godzilla is then attacked by a giant condor and a squadron of red bamboo fighter jets. Using his atomic ray, Godzilla destroys the jets and kills the giant bird.
I'm also going to say here, too, that Ebirah's monster-like sound, I'm going to give like a 6 out of 10 because it is real screechy and real bird-like, and it makes it less scary, you know what I mean? Because we're still in this phase where we're like in guys in suits, so it's kind of hard for that to be scary. But why Godzilla is still really scary in these movies is, especially this one, we really see him evolve in this one with like his grunts and growls, and the sounds he makes are like super scary, and it really gives that like monstery feel, whereas Ebirah's noise is like, oh, just not great. It's not the greatest.
It says the humans retrieve the missing Yatta and free the enslaved natives as Godzilla begins to destroy the red bamboo's base of operations. But that's missing all the how they retrieved Yatta by his brother getting caught up in the balloon, landing on the other island. Turns out his brother is still alive and has been on Infant Island this whole time. Not kidnapped by the red bamboo as some of the Infant Islanders have been. It's never made exactly clear how they kidnapped these Infant Islanders. Did they come to the island, or were they off the island doing some fishing or something, and the bad guys grabbed them while they were off the island? Because it seems like if they came onto the island, then Mothra should have done something about that immediately.
Yeah, but she was asleep.
She's sleeping. Yeah, she's sleeping like she does. But why does it take these outsiders? Mothra's asleep on the job here. She should have already rescued her worshippers, I feel. Not wait for the mainlanders to show up.
Yeah.
But then don't they get in a little boat and go back to the other island?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the other guys have been captured, and the one who was carrying the sword around the whole time, he doesn't have it anymore, but he figures out what's going on with the yellow liquid and tells the other slaves, hey, we should leave out this key ingredient and it won't be an Ebirah repellent anymore. And that will screw up their plans.
It's like a fake. It's a fake.
Yeah.
There was a thing too. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. There was a thing in the monster fight where we have another Godzilla dancing moment in this film where he kind of like, he's like, I don't think he's supposed to be dancing, but it's like plays this like really fun bouncy music, and then like he's getting ready for like this monster fight, and he's very dancey, and it's hilarious. It's I don't know if it's as good as his little like jig that he does in the other movie, but it was like similar. He does this like, it almost looks like he's doing like a WWE like suck it thing, but then he like throws his hands up in the air like wee. It's really good.
So Godzilla starts tearing shit up and destroys the base, smashing a tower that causes
toys.
But when he smashes the tower, this causes a countdown that will destroy the island in a nuclear explosion. Godzilla fights Ebirah and defeats him, ripping his claws off.
Yeah! Woo! This is a real monster fight moment right here. Like, fucking kill.
And forcing him to retreat into the sea. The natives await for Mothra to carry them off in a large net. Yeah, they did a whole thing of like saying, we got to build a net. Tell everybody to build a net. When you get back to the island, tell them to build it. Yeah, the fairies tell them, when you get back to the other island, tell them to make a big net. And then, but there's a whole thing with them the main group trying to stop the countdown on the bomb, and they can't quite reach it because it's buried under rubble, and they can't push the thing.
Speaking of can't reach it, buried under rubble, everyone, I want you to put your arm down to the ground, like put your fingers, like you're pointing your fingertips to the ground, and then point them, like flex your fingers up as far as they'll go. That's like they can't reach it. If they would just point their fingers down to the ground, they could reach it. But they put their fingers are up, and they're like, oh, I can't. I'm like, put your fingers down. It's right there. Two different people do this. But anyways, while all of this is going on, the monsters are fighting, and we get to see something really cool in this movie, which is the underwater stuff. All the underwater stuff. It's like super cool. How is this effect done? Are they like really underwater?
I am not sure. I think so.
It looks great.
Toho had this giant tank that they used for all of these movies that apparently was just filthy and gross. But I think they just, if they just stuck the camera underwater, that means the actors in the suits are having to hold their breath or have a tank attached or something. I don't know. I'd have to look at it again because I wasn't thinking about that. Because it is possible they just filmed it on, above water and put an effect over top of it to make it look like they're underwater.
Totally. It doesn't look like that. It looks great.
But I think they might have just been actually underwater.
Fighting underwater. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Anyways, he rips him apart. And then Mothra, she starts flying. There's like fairy dust music because she's a fucking goddess. Sorry.
So Mothra fights Godzilla because of their previous confrontation, it says here. Mothra manages to repel Godzilla and save her people and the human heroes. She picks up the net and carries everybody away. Godzilla also escapes just before the bomb detonates and destroys the island. That's right, this Japanese movie has the nuclear weapon go off and destroy an entire island.
Well, something that I really loved about that was that everyone like all the people in the net as they were flying off, and Mothra like bitch slapped Godzilla on the way out. Everyone's like, God, come on, like leave the island, like you can do it, run. Like they still want him to be okay, and they still want Godzilla because they know that he didn't mean them any harm and that he really did save them. And I'm like, fuck yeah. We're starting to like look at like Godzilla's not all bad. He's not all destruction. He's helped us a few times. He's got us through a few things. We like keep fucking him over anyway, but then at the end of this movie, people were like, you can do it. Like it seemed like they really cared about him and like, yay, he's alive. He survived, even though he tried to cook Mothra while everyone was in the net.
Well, it's so weird that because their plan, when you look at it, there's like, oh, there's terrorists on this island. Let's wake up Godzilla. Surely that is a good idea that will not go horribly, horribly wrong. Godzilla will surely only kill bad guys and not go on a rampage and destroy a city or something. So yes, they're very grateful for his help and want him to get away from the island before it explodes.
Yay, I really liked that.
And he does.
Yeah, he does. And they all see him and they're like, he did it. He's free. Until we need you again. Go sleep somewhere else until we can wake you up and bother you with our other shit.
So, yeah, there you go.
There was something else in this movie that I really liked that we hadn't seen before. It was a moment when Godzilla was looking at I guess it had to have been the girl. Yeah, it had to have been. So it's like she's like on like the ledge or something, and Godzilla looks at her, and then it shows us this camera angle where it's us, like the camera, looking at him directly. He's like bending down to look at her, and it's like just his face, and we're kind of looking up at his face, like bending down and looking at us. It looked really good. It looked really, really good. It was a new thing that we haven't seen. Also in this movie, I think I might have already said this, but they added some like grunts and groans that he hasn't previously done. Usually it's just like his roar and maybe a few other things. But throughout this movie, when he's kind of walking around, he's like doing this sort of growl, and it just sounds so good. It makes him so scary. And it's really cool to see the evolution of him, like going from the first Godzilla to then like changing suits to like changing camera angles and changing. And even in this movie too, his tail, the way his tail moved, we haven't previously seen in another movie where we see his tail move while we're looking at his entire body. Usually in the past movies, when we see his tail move or he's using his tail, that's all we see is just the tail. And of course that's because, you know, it's a costume and that's just like how the effect works. But this one, we actually, I don't know if they've tied a string to the end of his tail, but they're like, his tail moves while he's like walking. We kind of see it, you know, in that way. And so there's a lot of cool things that we see in Godzilla in this film that we haven't seen yet. And it feels really neat to see like where he is now and who he is now compared to like the first Godzilla movie when it was like, yeah, super cool. What?
Nothing. I was just laughing. I was tickled by your enthusiasm.
Oh, okay.
So, Honeybee, what are you going to rate this movie?
I say there wasn't enough Mothra in this movie. Like, I was happy that she was there, but it was, like, not a lot. So I'm going to say, like, maybe a 3.5, 4, maybe. That's being, like, pretty generous.
I think I'll give it a 3. It was weird, but it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
I think this might be one of the generally less well-regarded ones, but you know, we don't care what.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I liked else it. Thinks.
I really liked it. I did. I was really excited because I was shocked. I was surprised. I was just like, oh God, like a giant crab. Ha ha ha. Like, how are we going to make this scary? Like, I can't wait, you know, like, how are we going to like make this monster? And then it was like, oh shit, like Godzilla. And then it was like, oh shit, like Mothra. And so I was really excited. I was so into it as soon as like that was happening. I knew I took way too many notes. I knew I needed to stop taking notes because I know that that's not how we're doing things anymore, where it's like a note on every single thing. But I just like, I love Mothra. I love the story of her. She also looks amazing in this movie and huge. We got to really see like how big she looks in this movie too, which was really awesome. So I did like it. I was excited about it. I guess I am gonna give it like a 4. Yeah.
You change it to a 4.
I don't know.
You take all the notes you want. All right, let's call it a 4 from you and a 3 from me.
Okay. Well, cool. Sounds good.
I think last week I indicated that our movie after this was The X from Outer Space.
Yeah.
But it should be War of the Gargantuas.
Yeah, you're right. It should be.
Which movie did you watch?
I watched the War of the Gargantuas, but I
Okay.
forgot about
fine.
X from Outer Space. And now that you said that, I'm totally remembering. Yeah, I just looked at the Google Calendar. I totally forgot that you said that we were going to do that one.
No, I just but I misspoke last week. So
Okay. Okay, cool.
War of the Gargantuas is the next one on the list. So that is what we will do next week. And that movie will be, it's also on HBO Max.
Is it? I couldn't find it. I had to watch it on Tubi.
Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it's on HBO Max. Because I was very annoyed that it was on there, but Frankenstein Conquers the World is not.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But it is also on Tubi if you don't have HBO. So,
Yeah, for free.
Free with ads. So we will discuss that one next week. If you enjoy the show, please tell all your friends and post links on your socials and stuff. And give us a like and a subscribe and a rating on the iTunes. You can find all of our stuff online. Anchor.fm/MMFTG has the links to most of our stuff. MMFTG.bio.link also has the links to all of that stuff. So help us spread the word, folks. Thanks for joining us. Until then, remember to keep calm and seek shelter in basements.
And please do not misuse science.
We will not see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go.
Woo!
You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review us on your podcasting platform of choice. Our theme song is by the Texacato folk rock punk featuring Lita Lopez. You can support the show, find links to our social media, and even leave us a voice message at anchor.fm/MMFTG.
But you better never bother